Can't stop itching my balls.
The Money Sauce Podcast with your host, Saucy J and G. Money.
And welcome back to episode number 35 of the Money Sauce Podcast. We are back yet again, as we always are. And Garrett?
Yeah.
How much soccer did you watch this week?
2 games.
2 games. What games did you watch?
Whole lot of Canada.
A whole lot of Canada, exactly. That's where we're going to start. We're going right into the soccer segment this week. And it's tradition to start with the Whitecaps update, right? It's kind of become tradition over the last few
It's
weeks.
fair. Yeah, it's true.
So I'm gonna have a very, very fast Whitecaps update because there really hasn't been a Whitecaps update other than I saw something interesting is apparently Michael Bublé has been contacted, potentially be an owner for the Whitecaps. Now, what I read is he was working or he was speaking, not necessarily working with Drew Scott, who's one of those home renovation TV show kind of guys. And apparently they are interested in what's going on with the Whitecaps, but they have also publicly said that there needs to be more corporate support for it to work. So, yeah, I I guess it's not really an update other than that's an interesting name attached to some new rumors. So there's your Whitecaps update for this week. I feel like you have a thought there. Go.
I was going to say, I'm surprised it's not Ryan Reynolds, but he's already bought a soccer team.
Yeah, I know. I would love for it to be him. But he went to see the Canada game in Toronto, not the Canada games in Vancouver. So, or at least
Right
I didn't.
between like London and Vancouver.
I guess
Right
so.
in the middle.
Speaking of Vancouver, soccer in Vancouver, we recorded last Wednesday and then last Thursday, Canada and Qatar played,
Mm-hmm.
and Canada came out flying. It's the big 6-0 win in front of the home crowd in Vancouver.
They came
Just,
out looking for a fight. They were ready to beat that team like they owed them money.
yeah.
It was great.
Um,
And I'm glad they beat up on a smaller team.
yes, and as they should be doing, absolutely at this stage. So a couple fun stats about the game and a couple fun stats about kind of the records that Canada set. So possession 79%, 10 shots on goal to Qatar's 0 shots on goal, 44 crosses to Qatar's 2, 19 corner kicks to Qatar's 1. While the fouls were kind of even 9 for Canada, 10 for Qatar, and we'll get to the big one in a minute. But this was the first ever win for Canada at a World Cup. This was the first ever game that featured a hat trick for Canada at a World Cup. This was the first ever clean sheet victory for Canada at the World Cup. And this was the first time ever that a team from the CONCACAF region has scored 5 or more goals in a World Cup game.
Well, that's cool.
So big, big, and this is the first time since the 1960s that a host nation has scored a hat trick in a World Cup game.
I'd heard that. That's pretty sweet.
So huge game for Canada. And like we said, beating up on a smaller team as they should be doing. We should be a country that's doing these kind of things in soccer now.
Well, at least to like a team like Qatar.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like you expect more of these types of matches this year in the World Cup in the first round because there's more teams and there's more crappy teams.
And there
No
have
offense,
been
Qatar, but like, and there's been some fun upsets. It's great.
in the first like week set of games, like in the first games, whatever, however you want to say that, there have been some interesting outcomes. But what I've found is the second set of games, it's been more what you expect, maybe except for England with their scoreless draw. Was that yesterday, I believe? But yeah, there tons of positives coming out of that game. Everything was feeling good, with the exception, of course, of the horrible foul from Qatar's Asim Madibo. He came in on Ismail Kone. Uh, like it was a bad break of the leg, so bad that they
It was
weren't even.
gross. They didn't show it
Yeah,
on TV.
no, they didn't. I came across it on social media after, not purposefully looking for it, but I just happened upon it, and yeah, the leg was bent in a way it's not supposed to be bent.
It had like Sid Vicious written all over it.
It sure did. Um, so Madibo was given a 5 match ban on,
We got a 5 match ban.
yeah, for
That's
that.
sick.
Um, it was a
Like that's
straight.
well deserved. That's sick in terms of like I'm used to like suspensions and stuff being so minimized in
Mhm.
sports leagues, like with NHL. Unless you're caught like doping or gambling in the MLB. So when I say that's sick, I'm like that's a good punishment for it was a gross play, like to run at him from behind like that and just
He just
boot his leg.
yeah, to take a hockey term, he slew-footed him, right? Like
Yeah.
it was horrible. And yeah, it was, he was sent off straight red, as he should have been. The look on his face when they were showing some of the cutaways, I do think he felt bad. He looked
Yeah,
pretty
it looked like it anyway.
disturbed. So I guess there's something to be said for that. But still, he that was well earned, and yeah, he went home. There's not much else to say.
Well, the whole team did.
They did after today, yeah, where Qatar faced off against Bosnia in Herzegovina, or however you say that, and lost 3-1. So Bosnia got the win in today. Let's talk about today with Canada. Um,
From high highs to low lows.
yeah. So
Where do we
all
start? Like it's disappointing in a lot of ways. Like now they don't have home field advantage, so their next game is in LA.
yeah,
Um, it just feels like the party's over a little bit. Like they were so flat today. Like after seeing
there,
how badly they wanted to beat Qatar for the whole 90 minutes,
yeah,
today was just like, where was that?
yeah.
Until
So
like after the second water break.
basically, just getting into it, all they had to do was tie today to win the group. That's all they had
Mm-hmm.
to do. Switzerland is a higher ranked team. I think Switzerland was favored to win the group, but Canada had a really like easy path to winning the group today.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, to your point, until that second hydration break, they really didn't, outside of ending the first half with a couple opportunities that weren't very good opportunities, but it was something. Um, they really they didn't play well. Obviously Kone is gone.
Like that second goal was a bad goal.
We still haven't seen Alfonso Davies. Um,
It's disappointing
like,
that they're not like peak at the peak of their powers while they're going through this.
mhm.
But that's pro sports, baby.
Well, and coming out of, or coming into the second half, I should say, and just a goal within 40 seconds. And, they just came out so flat in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there was a good run of play after the second water break, as we've now both said, but like, Canada had a chance here to really do something that it would have been very special, right?
If they had won the group, would it be like Great. This is a successful World Cup.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you feel like it's already a successful World Cup?
So here's the problem I'm having with that because by all means, this is like historically speaking, this is a successful cup or World Cup for Canada because we've never gotten out of the group stage. Granted, it's easier to get out of the group stage now more
It
than
feels like
ever.
all of these, sorry to cut you off, it feels like all of these historic moments have a
Mhm.
big asterisk beside them
They do. I agree with that.
because it's such a watered down World Cup.
Right. And I feel like, we can say whatever about that, but this is the way it's going to be going forward. So I think we should have higher expectations. The last World Cup, if we got out of the group stage, would have been a massive success. This time, I feel like they should just be getting out of the group stage at a minimum.
Well, three of the four teams get out of the group.
Yeah, well, potentially, right? It's two and then eight out of the however many groups there are.
Well,
I'm
so it's not
forgetting.
every third.
No, not
It's
every
a,
third. Eight third place teams will get out of the group stage. So, but still, it's Canada had not like they were in a
they basically tied Bosnia, right?
yeah, in the end, yeah.
Yeah, so they got through on their goal differential.
Yes, which was
They got second on
because
their
of the
goal differential.
Qatar, yeah, because of the Qatar game. Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. I mean, Bosnia would have had to win by 9 goals, not they would have had to score 9 goals. They would have had to win by a difference of 9 goals for Bosnia to pass Canada. So it was very unlikely that it was going to happen anyways.
I think
But
on paper, yeah. I think on paper you can say it's a successful World Cup, but at the same time you can also say Canada has underperformed.
I agree. 100% I agree. I think they underperformed today for sure. I'm not sure what I think about the first game yet. In hindsight, I feel like they could have won that one too. Um,
I feel
but
like they should have.
yeah.
Like I'll give Bosnia credit for being a tough team for sure,
Hmm.
but I think the expectations were higher. Like to beat up on a team like that, you need to, because otherwise they would have won the group,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
and they only
They
really
need,
had like two or three nice chances in that,
yeah.
if memory serves.
Yeah.
So it's weird like to have these celebratory moments, but to also feel like this is a disappointing showing for Canada.
Yeah.
Like even
One
without
it,
Alfonso Davies.
and now at the after the game, Jesse Marsh had his little interview. He said Alfonso's going to be ready for the next game. So we're going to see him back. And I struggle with
Yeah,
his name,
well,
but Steven Esquado, however you say his last name.
Stachio,
Thank you. I don't know why I can't say his last name. Anyways, came on in the 58th
you
minute.
can do what I do with them. You use your finger, your reading finger, and you go across the line, one sound at a time.
Stacchio. Uh, anyways, he said he had some hamstring tightness, so they weren't gonna play him the whole game. So there was some of the two of the bigger name players, including three, including Kone, not playing today. I'm not gonna make any excuses though. Those are facts, but I still think they needed to they could have been and needed to be better today. And I'm hoping that we'll see both of them play
Yeah,
against
they came
whoever
out with
wins
such
Group A.
heart and fire against Qatar.
They did.
Or not
They
Qatar.
did.
Yeah, okay. Like that's the same lineup. Davies wasn't in that lineup either,
No, he wasn't. You're right.
right? Saliba was in that lineup. Kone went out fairly early, if memory
It was
serves.
it was the I forget what minute, but yeah, it definitely was early enough that
So just play with that sort of intensity. That's all we ask.
yeah.
Because you had it in you. You busted it out for the last 25 minutes or whatever.
And the likelihood is so the winner of Group A is who Canada is going to get. Hey, Jer, cutting in here for a quick second for a quick programming note. Um, I swear they said on the broadcast that Canada would, as coming in second, would play the first place team in Group A. They're playing the second place team in Group A. So that'll be South Africa after everything that happened, not Mexico. Just a quick programming note. So the next little bit of the podcast lamenting that Canada's playing Mexico in LA is actually incorrect. Anyways, back to the show.
Who's in
Likely,
Group A?
right now, Mexico's 2-0 on top of Group A. In second place, I believe, is South Korea.
Oh, I don't want to play Mexico in LA.
And then Czech Republic is sitting in third. South Africa hasn't is in fourth. But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I think
That
it's
would be
gonna be
awful.
Mexico, and it's gonna be
Oh,
it's not just it's not a neutral site game, even though it's LA. That is a home
no,
game
that
for
is not
Mexico.
100%.
So that is not good. And Vancouver, wow.
Yeah, Vancouver showed up.
How are you not gonna have the Whitecaps? Like it just this is a soccer city. I don't care what people say. It's the proof has been here for these two games, and like
Hmm.
just wow. Now, something else I wanted to bring up is Jesse Marsh. When he was hired by Canada Soccer, it was in the whole wake of the sudden quit by John Herdman. So Jesse Marsh came in after John Herdman left Canada Soccer to go coach TFC for 5 minutes, if you remember. Um, and that Canada Soccer had kind of rose up with Herdman kind of there, and that was really disappointing at the time. I remember him
When he
leaving.
left?
I
Yeah,
remember.
you're right, because he elevated the women's game
Hmm.
to the gold medal, and then he
Hmm.
was coming up with the men and elevating their game to the World Cup.
Yeah, he
And then he was
was
just like,
a
bye.
huge influence on the rise of Canadian soccer, period. The women have always been pretty good, but like he took them from like they're good, not championship levels to being championship levels, and then took the men to being a World Cup, not just qualifier, but winning CONCACAF in a pretty dominant fashion. So when he left for TFC, even though being a TFC fan, you'd think I'd be excited. I was not happy about that. I didn't want him at TFC. I wanted him to keep going with Canada. And then they hired Jesse Marsh, who I remembered as being a coach for when they were still Montreal Impact, and having a couple other MLS stints as a coach and nothing too inspiring. But I love this guy now.
Yeah.
I really do. His honesty, or what I perceive to be honesty, in his post game interviews and such, the way he's embraced Canada, even though he's an American, right? He played for the U.S. national team. He was he was a career MLSer, but he never played for any of the Canadian MLS teams. I don't believe they were around when he was playing, but he felt like a weird choice to me because yes, he did spend some time with Leeds United, team in the English football pyramid, but for the most part, he was an MLS player and coach, right? And it felt to me like you want to aim higher than a career MLS guy as the coach for the national team, right?
Hmm.
No disrespect to MLS.
Weird that the former national team guy went to MLS.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that didn't last very long though. So,
No, he
um,
discovered his affinity for drones.
yeah,
Him
yeah.
and
Yeah, the name escapes me, but yeah, I mean, anyways, all that to say is I didn't have very high hopes, and I was like, great, we made all this progress, and now we're bringing this guy in. The way he's embraced Canada, the way he's complimented the home crowds, the way he's been so animated on the sidelines, the amount of success we've had with him as a head coach, despite us saying, we're not feeling like this has necessarily been a successful World Cup thus far. Even just the meme that came out after the Qatar game of him doing the this thing on the sideline. Like and even him saying like in the post game interview thing was saying, I'll be honest with you guys, I was thinking of putting five back coming into the half, and I probably should have. I don't know. I don't feel like you get a lot of those honest evaluations. You kind of get
hmm.
we got out there and we gave our best kind of stuff. And I like him a lot. and I hope he's around for a long time. And I really
Yeah,
hope,
we'll see.
this weekend he has some success, convincing these guys or coaching these guys to get the best out of them. Something else, World Cup related that we should touch on, Messi, Lionel Messi.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no argument. Here's here's the records that Lionel Messi's broken through this his second game in this World Cup. Most World Cup finals goals by a player at 18.
What?
Most World Cup matches played by a single player at 28.
What?
Most matches won by a player at the World Cup,
What?
18. That's most minutes played in the World Cup, 2,489.
What?
Uh, yeah, GOAT. I don't care if he's playing for Inter Miami and people are saying, oh, he's probably doing the retirement tour. I don't think so.
He's doing his retirement tour at a very high level, MLS
Yeah,
or not. Like,
yeah. Um, Fantastic player. I in no means am rooting necessarily for Argentina. No offense to any Argentine fans out there. It's just not my country or anything, but it's a delight to watch history in the making. And he's doing it out there at the highest international level. So,
it's one of those moments where you're like, man, I get to be alive during Lionel Messi,
mhm.
his reign. Like,
Yeah.
people will watch the games that you got to see live 10, 20 years from now. They'll be talking about him. They'll be comparing other great players to him. But you got to see it live. You got to see it unfold.
Mhm.
Those moments come like, I don't know, do they come for you often? But like, there's a few times where I'm like at a concert or something like, man, I get to like go to a concert and like John Mayer's prime. When he's like ripping on his own and it's great.
Yeah, it's special. It's such a cool feeling to be able to see it. Yeah, congrats to Messi, I guess. One final World Cup note for today, just because I know we've talked about it before, and I know it's kind of a hot topic, but FIFA will analyze using hydration breaks at future World Cups. I know I kind of say it as a joke,
And
uh,
this is
but
soccer now. This is World Cup soccer now.
yeah, this it's let's just
Not getting
face
rid
it.
of it.
They're not. They're not. You're right.
As dumb as it is, like it I don't know who it benefits, but it totally interrupts the momentum of the game.
It does.
And we
And
see this all the time in hockey, like why you use your timeout or football or like those other sports where you're trying to interrupt the momentum.
hmm
And this is just baked into the game. What are
and
some of your other highlights so far outside of Canada's
outside
roller
of
coaster
outside of Canada's roller coaster,
and Messi doing messy things?
well, sure. Um,
Where's
Obvious.
Holland? We haven't talked about Netherlands.
Yeah, that
And
was
at least
where
half of our viewer base is
more than half,
Dutch.
more than half, I would like to think. Netherlands
Well,
played
you don't count as a full one.
don't
No, you're
I?
half.
Okay. But yeah, they played Sweden for their second game. They picked apart Sweden 5-1.
Rude.
Robbie, who got his first start in the World Cup, the Sunderland forward, he scored two goals, and Sweden really didn't show up. So that was a
How
fun game.
lucky for you.
Lucky? No, no,
Who's a big
no.
Swedish player?
Gudmundsson, I would
Gudmundsson?
say.
Who am I thinking of?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
I was gonna say Ibrahimovic, but that doesn't sound like a Swedish name to me.
He's Swedish. Yep, absolutely.
When in doubt, go with your gut, kids.
Yeah, that's who it was. There you go.
Yeah, Ibrahimovic.
Yeah,
He's retired now.
he's retired. Yep. So, yeah, so no Ibrahimovic in this game. So, yeah, Holland is 1-1 and first in Group F right now. I thought Ivory Coast played Germany really well. I mean, Germany still won 2-1, but I thought Germany would destroy Ivory Coast. So good for Ivory Coast. The US won 2-0 against Australia, so the US continues to just kind of run along
Mm,
here.
the Socceroos.
Yeah, or Socceroos are well, they won one and they've lost one, so they're still second in Group D, so they still have a chance to
Wow.
get through. So that would be a fun little story. Otherwise, I don't think there's anything really of note. I mean, we mentioned Messi, France won 3-0.
Any
Um,
other upsets this week?
I
Capo
wouldn't,
Verde, is there Cinderella run over?
yeah. England and Ghana tying 0-0, I thought was a bit of an upset, even though the
Yeah.
score was a tie. No, that it felt like I said earlier, this just felt more like a the people that should be winning are winning kind of week. So I guess it's time for our breakingish news. We have a lot to talk about in the NHL this week.
You better refresh your tabs just in case we missed anything.
I know the way it's been going, it's been an interesting week, but few days for few hours today even. Um, So let's start with something we already talked about a little bit. We got into the Mike Babcock investigation thing last week, and the day after we recorded, of course, so the day I posted the episode,
Mm-hmm.
the NHL completed their review of Mike Babcock's tenure in Columbus and of the certain alleged conduct associated, and they said that their investigation has concluded that, even in the light least favorable to Mr. Babcock, there is no current basis to restrict his employment in the league.
Good.
Very fancy way of saying we're not going to cancel him, I guess. Um, and as a result, the Edmonton Oilers yesterday officially announced that they hired Mike Babcock as the head coach. Um,
Did you watch the press conference?
it's funny. Actually, there's a little funny story about this. I had it on and then I had a meeting scheduled with one of my clients. So I, of course, just shut it off and jumped onto the meeting with my client. And as he got on the video call with me, I could hear Mike Babcock's voice in the background. So he was clearly watching it on TV as we started our call too. So
That's so
uh,
funny.
so we had a moment to share our opinions before we got down to the actual business portion of our conversation. But so I caught some of it to answer your question.
Was it interesting? I didn't see any of it.
It wasn't interesting at all, in my opinion. There was one question, what happened with the Blue Jackets, basically
There
kind of
was only
question
one?
that I caught, that I
Oh,
caught.
right, right. Sorry.
And basically he was like, "Oh, I love that question. Thank you for asking it." It kind of sounded a little ass kissy, to be honest with you, but
Mm,
he said it was very evident before the year started. I hadn't benched anyone, I hadn't talked to anybody, I hadn't sat anyone out, and it was evident that we weren't together as a staff right from the get-go. And he said, my wife gave me a call and she said, it's time to get out of there. So they got out of there.
okay.
All right.
Sure.
Um, Whatever. He brought DJ Smith as an associate coach along with him. I saw Connor McDavid said he's excited that Babcock's there. Um,
What was the actual quote from McDavid?
so yeah, Sportsnet. So we asked McDavid about what it'll feel like when Babcock is lands on the doorstep, is basically what they said. Here's the quote. I know Babcock alluded to the fact that it's easy to say in June, and it is easy to say in June. They might be a little bit different when it's November, but we've all agreed that this is what we want. This is what we are looking for. I don't plan on having I don't plan on having that happen to me very much, but when it does, it'll be deserved and we'll move forward and we'll learn from it. It's time to have that happen in Edmonton. It's time.
What was happening
Yeah.
before?
I guess he wasn't.
Like you weren't
consulted.
accountable enough to yourself? You feel like you've got to like whip yourself into shape here, Connor?
Well, he followed up this by saying, I'm excited about the challenge to be pushed by a coach because it's been a really long time in Edmonton. So I guess he feels like coaching has sucked in
Whoa.
Edmonton. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get a say in terms of who his coach is.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of a
Kind
kind
of a
of
dick thing to say.
yeah, but I also think it's kind of BS to say too. I can't believe he doesn't get a say in the coaching selection that they've had in the past. Not a player of his level, right? So
Yeah.
he
Like
but
they're giving him everything he wants. So it's
they're gonna have to keep him, right? So even though they've
but
got
even before this, like they would have been consulting him on stuff for sure.
for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited to be pushed by a coach.
Okay, well
Better
we'll
get your
see.
burner phone ready, buddy.
Yeah, well
Screw up
um
the internet.
yeah.
So how do you feel about it overall?
Overall, I mean, I guess if that's what McDavid wants, I think last week I said, I feel like, I wouldn't think he's the kind of guy that I would want because of the history of the bully tactics and that kind of stuff. I don't like that. I think it's fair to say if what has been said about him with his time with the story about Detroit that I brought up and sitting players so they wouldn't hit certain milestones, the Marner story that we've all heard about in Toronto and that like I don't think if I'm running a hockey team, I don't want somebody that uses those kind of tactics to get something out of his players.
Hmm.
But if if I'm the Oilers and my generational talent comes to me and says, I want this guy to be my head coach, and the guys are with me on this, I'm gonna say yes. Like,
You have to.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him being hired. I know he's very unlikable,
Hmm.
all the bullying things and stuff, but you know, it's he didn't do anything illegal.
No, he
John
didn't.
Chayka probably shouldn't have been hired before him, Babcock.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree with that.
so Shayka can work. Why can't Babcock? Speaking of the Leafs,
Yeah, well,
let's
let's
talk
go.
about them. They've been busy.
Yeah, they've been busy, all right. They made a trade with Tampa Bay. So the Leafs traded the uh 2026, so this upcoming draft pick, fifth round pick for Darren Radish from Tampa Bay, who they immediately signed it to an 8-year, $68 million contract as part of like a sign and trade deal. So
Hmm.
that's an average annual value of 8.5 million for him. Yeah, that's a good chunk of change. But it's a defenseman, so you're gonna pay for a defenseman. Um,
Is he a right shot defenseman? Because that's on the show. That's what we talk about a lot.
it's true, and I am embarrassed to admit I did not do my research on what shot he
Oh, you're
is.
the researching one.
I am so sorry to everyone. I am going to get that answer for you right now. But in the meanwhile,
I feel like
this
he's not because if they haven't talked about it in the first two lines of
he
this.
is he is a right shot defenseman.
Oh, here comes the Stanley Cup to Toronto.
Uh, this is there's a couple different things here. First thing is Toronto area boy, grew up in Caledon. Another one of the, like they did with John Tavares, another guy coming home to play for Toronto. Um, they need defensemen, so good to address a need.
I mean, he's going all in.
Is this the best? He's 30 years old. So, you know,
John
closer,
Chayka's making a big splash. His first big move.
I guess.
To me, said this before the show. This has David Clarkson written all over it. He's going to be a buyout candidate at some point relatively soon. He's coming off of one good season. Um, Hopefully he keeps it up. I don't want to be negative on this. It's exciting. Ooh, we got like
This is
they can't even big name, but like a defenseman coming off a successful year.
absolutely. And I know he holds a special place in your heart being an alumni of the Georgetown Raiders. Let's hope that he's not.
He was on the Raiders and made it into the NHL. Good for him. And I don't mean that lightly. Like most of those kids at that level, they're playing for like a scholarship at university somewhere, which is an incredible achievement in itself.
Sure, sure. He was actually undrafted. Fun fact.
I love it
Uh,
when undrafted boys make it big.
yeah. Um, yeah. I guess it's a wait and see. I don't have a
Yeah, it has to be. No one can, after one successful season like that, you can't
yeah.
tell if this is going to be a great signing or not. It's most likely, it goes to show you they are in for the next maybe 2 years trying to get this team, this carcass of a team, into the playoffs and with some success.
Hmm.
Because more than likely, like if you're playing the odds and the statistics, he's only got a few years left
Right.
before he's going to be. You're going to buy him out the last year's this contract.
Yeah,
He's
and I think
38, and like you're going to be at that time, you're going to be in a rebuild anyway, so you won't care.
probably, yeah, yeah. And I think it's fair to say that the Leafs didn't really give up too much to get him. Even
They give up nothing. This is the
this is a free
for fifth
agent
round.
signing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. So, not it's worth a swing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Um, and
and this is like a Chayka type swing.
and especially because of the next news note. Morgan Riley submitted his list of four Western-based teams as part of, his no movement clause and the teams he'd waive. They haven't said what teams, but there's
Can you
four
guess?
Western-based teams that the Toronto Maple Leafs defenseman is willing to go to. Las Vegas,
Yeah.
LA,
Oh, I didn't think L.A.
San Jose.
Really, San Jose.
Yeah, there's been some rumors out there. That's not even going to be, I'm not even going to try to
Okay,
hide
you're the
that.
research guy.
The other one is I'm struggling to come up with number four.
Oh, it's got to be
Um,
Colorado.
oh, maybe that would be interesting.
Like if you're in this
Uh,
position,
yeah.
you're negotiating to go to a winning team.
Oh, for sure.
There's no way he goes to San Jose.
I don't know, man. Honestly,
He doesn't have enough years. How old is he?
32.
He's 32.
He's
He's not going
32.
to San Jose. He's got to be able to compete at a level to stay on a team, first of all.
Okay,
He's
so
only got 2 or 3 years left.
what
So I
I'll
think he's going to a contender like Vegas or Colorado.
the reason
Minnesota would be another one.
yeah, yeah, Minnesota has been coming up on a lot of people's trade lists. So
Because they're up and
uh
coming and they've
yeah.
got like Quinn. Like next year's going to be huge for them.
Hmm.
They have Quinn Hughes the whole year. Like the expectations for Minnesota are bigger for next year for sure. So I think
Yeah.
Colorado, Minnesota, Vegas are three of the four.
Vegas it seems to be on everyone's list as well now. So but I have heard or have seen some rumors about San Jose.
What about LA? Where did LA
So
come from?
that's just a guess from me.
Oh, that's just a guess.
Yeah.
As far away from Toronto as possible.
Yeah, I guess.
Southern California or Vegas, please.
The question I have is, first of all, a little opinion is like you just got another defenseman. Now you're getting rid of one. Like, come on, guys, you need defensemen.
No, you don't need Riley. I want to say gifts, but that Riley's strengths were his offensive contributions.
Hmm.
He's not giving you that anymore, and he's not
It's
good
fair.
defensively. So it's like
You
it's like, okay, Morgan, do you want to be like a third line guy, or we can trade you to a contender so we can get something back? That's what this is. Like you're getting Radish to kind of, okay. Ideally, he's going to run your power play now, get that working, and like be your number one guy.
For sure.
and
There's
I
no
guess
doubt about
have
that.
Tanev be your other shutdown guy.
But that's my
Like
point. Like it's a big drop off.
by trading Morgan Riley.
Yeah, from Radish to whoever's next. You know what I mean? And at least
Oh, I see what you mean.
listen,
Well,
listen, this is
yeah, but they
not
still need to get rid of Morgan Riley. Like he's not helping you defensively.
yeah, but what's there without him? You know what I mean? Like this isn't I'm not disagreeing that
You just think they need a body.
yeah, I think they need a
I think they
body.
can get a
Yeah.
cheaper body.
Well, that's a fair point that I didn't consider. I'll give you that for sure. It's just, yeah, the
You can
need.
call someone up from the A to be your third line guy.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Fair enough. Especially considering you have a Calder Cup winning caliber of a roster in the A.
Championship squad right there.
There you go. Um, okay,
Good for them, by the way.
absolutely. Regardless, this one is, I think, far from being over. I'm not sure what they're really going to get for him
I think it'll happen before
anyways.
the draft
Oh
on
yeah.
Friday.
I think now that they have the
The
four
teams.
teams, it'll probably move pretty quickly. Like we're gonna get to here. There's been a lot of movement. So yeah, let's keep going, I guess.
Let's do it.
The big one. The Ottawa Senators traded Brady Tkachuk away to get a whole bunch of picks. So they got the number 9 pick in this year's draft. They've got Tampa Bay's first round pick this year. They've got the Panthers' second round pick in 2027 and the Panthers' um, first round pick in 2029, but that is a top 10 protected pick. So if they are a if the pick ends up in the top 10, it'll change years. I believe it's 2010 or 2030 then, excuse me. Yeah, they got a whole bunch of picks basically. Some pretty significant picks at that for Brady Tkachuk so he could go play with his brother in Florida.
What's the definition of tampering?
You want me to read the dictionary definition of
No, I just like point out that
Yeah,
I don't
no,
know.
absolutely.
Is there something greasy going on? I don't necessarily think so. By all accounts, they had a meeting and he's like, I'm not going to resign,
Yeah, that's
which isn't
that's
the
what
same as
happened.
demanding a trade. So the GM acted to get maximum value, and he got a top price for him.
Yeah, the
You
the
know,
Senators absolutely came out with a nice pack of picks there. There's no doubt about that. And you're right. If a player tells you like, look, in 2 years or whatever it is, I'm not going to re-sign, what are you going to do? You've got to get the value as quick as you can, frankly, because the closer you get to that
yeah,
contract ending, the less value you're going to get for him,
well,
right?
less value, and there's going to be more strong arming, right?
Hmm.
But you got to believe that the Florida Panthers with this price, they wanted him for Matt, Like they wanted to keep their guy happy. Okay, we'll pay this price. Get Brady Tkachuk, a career, I think the most goals he's had is 35, 37 in a year. So
Yeah,
you know, I don't know. It sucks for Ottawa. It's so disappointing. And you
it
got to
is.
wonder if this makes you reevaluate as a Canadian team drafting and developing American players.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about that. We've definitely had that conversation in some of our group chats, and
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't necessarily be like, well, I'm not drafting you because you're American,
right.
but it has to be a metric, I think, of how willing this kid wants to play in a Canadian market.
The big thing for players that are asking for trades now seem to be, I'd like to go to a contender, of course,
A
that makes
contender with
sense.
low income tax.
But they're all asking for Vegas and Florida, and there's no state taxes there. And they're also able to go to the grocery store and not be bothered by anyone. I know there's a lot of people that are like, oh, look at the kind of money they make. State tax wouldn't mean anything to them. But
Oh, it
remember,
would.
remember the whole debacle with taxes with John Tavares? And like the amount of money
They wanted
that
to
it,
tax his bonus or something,
yeah.
and they had to go to court to see if that was even taxable. And I don't believe it was. I believe
I,
he won that case.
okay. Well,
So good for him.
yeah, I was going to say I'm glad to hear that for him, but all that kind of stuff just is like these guys at this level make enough money that they don't need to worry about money theoretically,
But
right?
that's but theoretically, but
But
nobody lives their life like that.
right, that's what I was going to say. I
Like,
don't
yeah, I make 8 million on paper, but the government takes four of that.
mhm.
You're paying them more than you make for nothing.
Yeah. I don't consider that statement of, the whole they make enough money statement to hold any weight. Because I don't care how much money you make, you're always going to be trying to make that money work best for you and have the most return on that and all that kind of stuff, right? So
Hmm.
whether that's taxes or investments or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I think you could make the argument the level of professionalism overall has declined. Just like going to where you're. It was a huge deal when Lindros didn't want to play in Quebec,
Oh, huge, yeah. It
right?
was unheard of.
But and that doesn't really happen that much these days anyway, as rookies. So that really hasn't changed too much. But there's just this sense of like a lot less loyalty to a club, I guess, to a team.
Yeah,
Like people
yeah.
demanding trades. It's just weird when that started, like when Goudreau did it, and then Kachuk did it, and
Mm.
then, you know, that's not the same. It's not apples to apples with Brady's thing. Um, but essentially that's what's happened.
Yeah, that's
I want
yeah.
to go to Florida to play with my brother and not pay any income state tax.
Hmm.
You know, I want to go to Columbus. I want out of Calgary. I want out of, and I guess no Pronger. Well, Pronger demanded trade because he signed with Edmonton
Yeah, yeah, he wanted out of
and he
Edmonton,
wanted out.
absolutely. Yeah, that's when he went to the Ducks.
I don't know. Maybe that's not a fair thing to say, but it just feels like. I mean, it's the case for power player empowerment too, right? Like they should have a say and they should have more control of their destiny and stuff. But at the same time, like you've signed a contract with this team, so they can build a team around you, and it's like sorry, I'm out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
tough.
hopefully you can
Uh,
get like dollar for dollar on that return. Like the fact that we've seen that lately is crazy to me too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like there has definitely been a bigger willingness to take bigger swings, if that
Yeah.
in the trade market. I mean there's a few more trades here, so I guess let's
Oh
keep
my gosh.
rolling to this point.
We're gonna be here till 3 a.m.
I'm assuming this is just kind of in reaction to getting Kachuk, but then the Panthers traded forward Mackie Samoskevich to the Kraken for a first round pick in the 2026 draft and a conditional 2027 second rounder. Obviously they had a surplus of players, so
Yeah.
and they got
Be
a
hard to
pretty good
top.
return on this, I thought. I it, yeah, he's 23 and he scored 12 goals and 20 assists last year. Not This isn't like super hot prospect can't miss kind of thing,
And he
right?
probably couldn't crack the lineup. Well, he played 77 games.
Yeah.
So we'll see what his playing time is like.
I'm sure he'll get plenty of playing time in Seattle. Don't get me wrong. You know, I can't say that this is a bad idea for Seattle. They got to do something, and I just thought they paid a lot for him. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what the scouting report is on this guy. Like the stats in this byline don't really give us a lot to go on.
Right.
Or at least he's played 156 games and has points in a third of that, roughly. So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay. We'll see. Yeah. Keep going. More big trades. The Sharks. So in in response, I guess, or in a flip, really, the Ottawa Senators flipped the number 9 pick of the 2026 draft that they got from Florida to the San Jose Sharks to get William Eklund. And part of that package is also Casper Haltunen and Brandon Saboda. Some young players, some pieces, really. Uh,
Svoboda.
yeah. Svoboda.
Svoboda.
Yeah, right. I mean, Eklund's not going to replace Kachuk, and I don't think anybody expects that. Um,
No, but it's a good
but
young piece.
yeah.
You know, it's a body.
Hmm.
He helps you in your window.
5.6 over 3 years. Not a horrible cap hit.
You know, it's a good cap hit in this day
Yeah.
and age.
Yeah. So,
And he's a restricted free agent at the end of that.
yeah.
So this is
So,
pretty good.
yeah, it's a pretty good ad for the Sens to get a body in there for sure, and not just any body. Um, so good for them. Next, the Calgary Flames have acquired defenseman Simon Nemec and right winger Maxim Sip Sipak Sipkov.
Siplikov.
Siplikov. We tried this before we went up to recording,
We
and
even practiced this.
I still can't say his name. Anyways, they've got a 2027 first round pick, a 2028 first round pick, and a
Second round
20
pick. Oh no, you're right. Sorry.
and a 2026. So this draft second round pick. Yeah. Both of those are top 10 protected, meaning Calgary keeps them if
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 they
they're
suck.
picking, yeah, basically if they suck. Yeah. Quite a bit of picks going to the Devils' way for a couple bodies there, but when I saw this trade, I was kind of like, what, why Calgary? I thought you guys were bottoming out.
Well,
Like,
which way does he shoot?
right.
Boom.
Oh man. Oh, yeah, I guess I'm just surprised that Calgary spent a few first round picks when they seem like they need first round picks.
Where are they at in their window?
They were horrible last year.
Oh.
So there is no window right now. They're still building the frame. They haven't even put the window in yet.
They've got this per what's the defenseman's name? Starts with a Z.
Simon,
Ziad. Um I can't think of his last name. He's on Peter's team, but he's expected to be a good prospect. And their goaltender, of course, my boy,
your boy.
Dustin Wolf.
Yeah.
So it improves the team.
I
Nemec's a
yeah,
good player.
yeah, 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 yeah. It definitely
He's
improves.
22.
So definitely is the age range you want at this stage of the game. But it's
And they're
still,
top 10 protected picks.
yeah,
So if they really suck,
they'll get him back. Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, fair enough. Still seems like a lot to me, but maybe it's not as significant as I originally thought. Okay, next, because we're not done yet. St. Louis traded Jordan Cairo to the Washington Capitals for Connor McMichael, Milton Gastron, and the number 16, so a first round pick in this Friday's draft.
I feel like that's a lot for him.
I do too, actually. Um, and we'll get to this in a minute because Washington made another trade, but I feel like Washington's trying to give Ovi a reason to have one last kick at the can.
Oh, are we cheering for Washington next year?
I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet.
Okay. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's been talked about being moved out of St. Louis for a while, so not a surprise to see him go. And good on St. Louis for getting quite a
It's a
good
decent
return.
return.
Yeah.
McMichael had a down year last year, but
Now the team wasn't good, right?
yeah.
So, and now we're not ready to crown Washington. So let's stay with our official team of the podcast, the Buffalo Sabres. They trade defenseman Bowen Byram to the Chicago Blackhawks, and they traded um, Jordan Greenway as well. And they got back Chicago's number 4 pick in this draft and
Whoa.
a
Whoa.
second round pick as well. So,
It's a great Bowen Byram wins this trade because he couldn't crack he was on my team for a while.
Hmm.
He couldn't crack the D lines. Like he couldn't get above Dolan, and like they're too talented on defense for his skill set. So he's going to do great in Chicago.
Yeah, I think so. And
Nobody should draft him in the fantasy draft, though. Don't do it. It's too risky.
it is too risky, absolutely. Chicago needs to, I think this is the kind of move Chicago needs to make too, because it's time to start, you know,
Yeah, their
trying to be a
windows now.
content. Yeah, yeah, right. Their window's opening.
Yeah,
So what I don't understand is
number
why
4.
Buffalo is trading everyone away. But
They're trying to get
okay.
tougher, and they've got a glut on defense,
They do have a glut on defense, yes. Getting the number 4 pick in the draft is pretty significant.
and it's huge.
I
But I
can't
don't know if that helps Buffalo, does it?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I can't say this is the time to do this, but
And I think
like,
the person expected to go at number 4 is a defenseman.
yes, yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's quite a few defensive prospects rated, in the top 10 there. So it's interesting, absolutely interesting. And then keeping on with the Sabres, as I'm prepping for the show, pulled up this tab where the Sabres GM Jarmo Kekalainen said, "Hey guys, Alec Tuch, he's moving on. He's not going to sign with us." And then just as we're getting ready to get going, the news comes through. The Capitals have acquired him. Buffalo will receive David Kemp and a 2026, so this draft, third round pick from Washington, and they're sending Tooch back their way. And he immediately signs an 8-year, $84 million contract with the Capitals. So that's an average value of about $10.5 million in this sign and trade deal. So Tooch, yeah, the Washington showed him the money.
Oh my gosh, that salary cap's going up, and teams are just like can't spend it fast enough.
Hmm.
Alex took.
David Kemp, um, not not a bad player. Um,
I guess this like yeah. When you look at when you look at the trade, it's like that's kind of a shitty trade, a poor trade. Sorry. Um, but he was leaving anyway, right? Like he wasn't coming back. So this is the kind of thing you expect when a guy wants out of town.
hmm.
This is
Yeah,
what you expect to get back. It's like, oh, you're not getting much back, or what we got from Mitch Marner.
yeah, yeah,
So David Camp is a serviceable guy.
definitely. Um,
So it's just like something they didn't get nothing back.
definitely. And then on top of all of that, the one person the Sabres decided not to trade is Zach Benson. He's staying in Buffalo with a 7-year, 52.5 million contract. That's all right. They got to keep someone, right?
Yeah,
It's, so
I wonder. Well, I think you're going to see more moves. I think they're going to move that 4th overall pick for because you've got to. How are you going to replace Alex Took?
I don't,
I
I
got a
don't know.
case of the saucies. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
It's
really.
Tuck, right?
Yeah, too
Not
many.
Touch. Tuck.
I've been saying touche, but you know, my record hasn't been great. So uh, either way, yeah, I do wonder if that is the case. Um, the Sabres, if you listen to us, you know that we had a fantastic time enjoying their run while it lasted, but they can't take that big of a step back by getting rid of players. So many, that's 3 players
That was
already.
your key guys. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
those are important players.
yeah. So they've got to do something else, and unless they think that that 4th overall pick is the something else and a controllable asset, I guess, for a while.
It doesn't. I mean, you don't take a step forward with that pick.
I don't think so, but maybe they think so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Look, Yurma Kukalainen, there's a hard name to say that I
Hey,
can
you
actually
crushed it.
say.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, Yarmo and his years in
Am I the Blitz
Columbus.
now?
Um, I like I like the idea of him being in Buffalo. I think he's made some pretty decent moves over the years. Unfortunately, one of the most significant ones, didn't pan out because there was an unfortunate death. But you know, I think he really had some bad luck in Columbus. Probably deserved better, and hopefully that is happening in with the Sabres. So that's all the trades today. Nothing else is. Well, let me refresh.
Yeah, let's see.
We miss. Well, I don't think it's as significant. Um, but let's pull this one up. The Nashville Predators and Colorado Avalanche made a trade today. So Jack Drury is going to Nashville with, here he is, Chase Bradley, who's an impending restricted free agent, and a 2029 third round pick. And in exchange, the Preds are sending Fedor Shivenkov and Zachary LaRue, I guess, to the Avalanche. So definitely not as significant as a lot of the ones we just talked about. Um,
Fair enough.
but yeah, a little move there from the Avs and the Preds. So that's definitely all the moves from the last week or so. The only other roster note to bring up is Jonathan Davis is now retiring or has now retired.
So disappointing in terms of like what happened to his career, but it's
Yeah,
wonderful that he got to play a season with his hometown.
absolutely. I got that swan song. Got three Stanley Cups with the Blackhawks. And yeah, I mean he's probably I think it's safe to say a Hall of Famer, so down the line. So congrats to him. Enjoy your retirement and thanks for the memories, I guess.
No, I'm not thankful for those memories.
The,
Chicago just winning everything. No.
yeah, well, yeah, I'm not necessarily a big fan of that either, but um, yeah, I don't know how else to say it. So that's what I said. We've got one more NHL news note, and I think this one is a pretty significant one. The NHL announced that they are exploring a potential expansion franchise in Texas, in either Houston or Austin, so one or the other. And they've had this an agreement in place with billionaire Dan Friedkin and his family. So, who's Dan Friedkin? I'm sure is what you're asking.
Yeah,
Dan Friedkin is well, obviously a businessman. He's chairman and CEO of a company called the Friedkin Group.
he's got.
Surprisingly,
Hmm,
he's his money's made from automotive, luxury, hospitality type businesses. He also owns in Serie A AS Roma, and he also owns Everton in the Premiership,
official club of the
and
show.
and he is maybe not the official club of the show after
They play at Goodison Park.
they don't play at Goodison Park anymore. They built a new stadium, and
Oh wow, I'm out of touch. Sorry,
he is the guy that
I put them out of
was
Goodison Stadium, Goodison
yeah,
Park.
yeah.
Oh, F
Uh,
this guy.
yeah, I was gonna
F as in
say
Fry.
forget this guy.
Yeah, forget this guy.
Yeah, so they now play as of
Don't tell me it's
20
named after some corporate. Don't tell me it's like Rogers Park.
it, as of 2021
Oh my gosh.
they play at Hill Dixon Stadium. Um, it's also known as Bramley Moore Dock Stadium or Everton Stadium,
Okay.
but yeah, Hill Dixon Stadium.
It's not Goodison Park, but
No, Goodison
goes to show
Park
you what I know about the Premier League.
Goodison Park, 19 or sorry, 1892 that place was built. and it lasted all those years. And now this guy comes along and he builds a new stadium. I mean, I guess that's not a negative, but it's sad that a historic stadium like that is kind of it's not sitting empty. Everton women play at Goodison Park,
Here we go.
but yeah, it's not in the Premiership anymore. Anyways, that's who Dan Friedkin is. So he's got some sports ownership under his belt. So basically, the deal here is they're looking at those two markets. So he's clearly only interested in a team somewhere in the state of Texas. Why Austin? I'm not 100% sure.
It's a big city
Aus
now, isn't it?
Austin is about 1 million people, so it's still in the top like 15 cities in the US. But Houston is at 2.4 million and is the fourth most populated city in the US. I guess when you talk about competition for the sports dollar, Austin only has Austin FC and MLS, whereas Houston has Houston Dynamo of MLS, Houston Astros in Major League Baseball, Houston Texans in Major League Football, and of course the Houston Rockets in the NBA. So maybe the idea is go to Austin instead of Houston because you're not fighting for the entertainment dollar with as many professional
Mm.
sports teams.
Mm-hmm.
I do know for a long time the NHL has wanted to be in Houston. That's always
Mm-hmm.
been a rumor. Again, because of the it's a big market that they are not in. Nothing's official yet, but generally when they come out with these kind of things,
It's coming.
it's coming. Yeah. So I guess the NHL is looking to be the first to get to 34 teams, is my guess. How do you feel about adding a 33rd and potentially 34th team in the NHL?
It's fine. Fix the playoffs. That's how I feel about it. Fix your playoff format.
They're gonna add these two teams so they can have the round of 32 in the playoffs.
I'd love that.
And only two teams miss the playoffs.
Uh, break up all the teams based on the final standings into groups. Top two go through just to knockout rounds. That'd be fantastic. At least for like your World Cup of hockey, maybe. Make it like the actual World Cup. Bring in Qatar.
Breaking Qatar so that the
Open
Leafs
it
have
up to
someone
all the
to beat up on.
countries. South Africa can have a team.
Sure, why not?
Australia. Why not?
Why not? Let's just do it.
Let's do it. Make it a real World Cup.
Honestly, let's have 110 and 100 team NHL. Let's just go.
No, that's ridiculous. No, it's I love
Uh,
Texas. Have you ever been to Texas?
I have been to Texas. Yes, I have. I think we've been to the same city, San Antonio.
I spent a day in San Antonio. It was lovely.
I'm,
I get like you make a good point with like there's lots more competition in Houston, not so much with Austin,
yeah,
but that hasn't stopped them before in other markets.
no, that's true. I don't think it's really necessary to expand this league right now.
The thing is, you get so much money for expansion.
Yeah, but at some point that has to end too, right?
Yeah, but you want to
I guess
take advantage
yeah,
of it when it
while you
doesn't end.
can. Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Um,
So yeah, it's at some point it's gonna be so big. It should go to like how baseball used to be.
yeah,
We just got
two,
two leagues that are separate,
yeah.
and then your championship game is
Yeah, is the winner
those two teams.
of the championship series of those leagues within the league kind of thing.
Hmm.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I remember here comes Grandpa, but I remember
Grandpa,
when they well, I'm gonna sound like an old man,
Grampy
but
sauce.
I remember when they announced Atlanta, um, Columbus, uh, Minnesota, you
Hmm.
know, and it
Only
was
one
like,
of them failed badly.
yeah, um, and it was like, okay, this is cool. We're getting new teams. There's new logos. There's going to be
Mm.
new, are these teams going to be good? What like expansion was cool. When Vegas and Seattle came around, Vegas really, to me, felt like, okay, they're just trying to be the first team to get to Vegas. As we know, every league's trying to get there now. Um, Seattle felt actually like a good fit to me. But even then, I was like, okay, we've got enough teams here. This just, and you're right, they're getting the expansion fees, and everybody wants that money. But this is too much, I think. And you know the other team's going to be Atlanta because third time's a charm, I guess. I
If you've
just,
got the if you've got the money behind it now,
hmm
like it feels like just the way everything is structured, it's so I would say socialist for lack of a better word. Like all the money gets spread out evenly, so you can't be feeling too much, and that's good because it helps the stability of the teams,
Right.
But it also makes like everyone, your team's mediocre and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, there's definitely a dilution to the talent
Yeah,
pool
it's
because
true.
what's going
It's
to
true.
happen as like a trickle down effect is you're going to have two more AHL teams,
Yeah,
right? So you're going to have you're not adding two teams to the hockey pyramid. You're
all right.
adding at least four, probably five to the hockey period because there's got to be an ECHL team there too.
You
There's only so many players out there. You know what
you
I mean?
you've convinced me. I hate expansion. Um, I remember thinking watching like the Four Nations Cup or the Olympics to a
Hmm.
lesser extent. Definitely the Four Nations Cup. Like, oh, this is what hockey's supposed to be like.
Right.
The best hockey players in the world competing against each other,
Hmm.
and this is what the game's supposed to look like. So every time you expand, you're right. You bring in another roster that's a little bit worse off, that's a little bit worse than the rest of the league,
Hmm.
and that's what brings the average down, the average kind of quality of your product down, because
Yeah.
essentially you're bringing up more minor league guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're right. It sucks. You should contract, get rid
Which
of
of
some teams.
which of course is never going to happen. But if you go either way, that, in my opinion, would be the way to go for the integrity of the sport. You can't because the Players Association won't let you cut that many jobs. You can't because of the revenue decreases, et cetera, et cetera. But adding more teams just, I don't know. And
You
maybe if
won't
they have
notice.
a great logo and a cool uniform, maybe I'll change my mind. But
You're gonna love it. It's gonna be like a map of Texas.
well, the Stars already have that in one of their logos.
It's gonna be a map of like the district of Houston, not just the city. So be extra inclusive that way. You'll love it.
Mhm.
They're gonna be the shooting stars, the Houston shooting stars.
Oh yeah, I'm sure the
It'll be
Dallas
like a
Stars
it'll
will
be like a
love
six
that.
shooter shooting stars.
Let's end the podcast well on two notes because we
We need
do
a
have
nicer note. It's been kind of a down night.
there is back in 1962 there was a huge and I believe it is still the history is this team turned it into I don't know the full history. I'm going to stop myself and just say in 1962 I know there was an expansion baseball team, Major League Baseball team in Houston, Texas, I can
Yeah,
speak. And they were called the Houston Colt 45s. So somebody already had that type of an idea. Here's their logo.
he's not shooting a star though.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
So okay, so the next season they became the Astros. That's what I was stumbling through, which is of course the current Houston Major League Baseball team. But their original season they did the gun thing. Just interesting note there. Um, final
I
note
guess
for the night.
Astros is short for astronauts.
Yeah,
Boom,
and Astrodome was also kind of
the astronaut dome.
Astro. Yeah, it's that whole space theme, right? So yeah, definitely. Um, final note, PHL note. We need to have this. This at one point was a podcast about our fantasy hockey league. Um, we've got everyone in the group chat. We talked about that already, but So all the PHL members that are listening, J July 5th. This is the final call for any rule proposals, changes, anything like that that you want to get out. So get
And
those in.
and then are we having a meeting?
And then the idea is to have the meeting and start hashing some of this stuff out. Yeah. So let's get them in by July 5th. Enjoy your Canada Day, all that kind of stuff. Get that in, and then we'll start looking at our meeting because we will we'll be at a point where Yahoo will be opening up the leagues again soon enough.
Oh,
And
already?
I already got the email that the football one should be any day now.
Oh
So
my gosh.
hockey follows not too long
We're not
after
gonna get a
usually.
break.
There's no break anymore. The Stanley Cup was awarded last week. This Friday is the draft. Like there's no stopping. And then next week is free agency.
Yeah, I'm
So
not here next week.
okay. Well, thanks for letting me know now.
I'm away.
Um, maybe we should call him Pete. Pete,
Pete,
I'll message
Pete,
you, Pete.
I've got some pancakes for you.
And we'll see if we can make that happen. Um, with that said, have a good 2 weeks, I guess, for you. I'll see you guys next week, and we'll see what happened in the NHL draft, and is Canada moving on to the round of 16?
See.
We will see. Have a good night.
Night, everybody.
The Money Sauce Podcast with your host.